This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And it is a Monday afternoon, Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti as we get ready to chat some sports with you. A lot to talk about, and we would probably think a very short time to do it in today. Our program is being brought to you by some great folks. First and foremost, let's talk about Taco John's, your home for loaded potato olays, the 3 for $5 walking tacos. Also, they have for you their 6-pack and a pound. Don't forget, every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, Taco John's of Cheyenne. We also want to thank Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, having a hail of a sale going on right now. So you are a big fan of Jayco's. Well, guess what? You can find Jayco fifth wheels, RVs, travel trailers, all specially sale price right now. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range. Again, we know them for lunch and dinner. How about for breakfast? How about 3 Squares now? Monday through Saturday at Ray and Cindy's Place, Chick-fil-A, only at the corner of Windmill and Del Range across from Menards with 2 convenient drive-thrus. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. The 18's got to go. Making way for the 19s, and you're going to find some sensational deals right now. AJ and Greg, they wheel and deal over there, along with the rest of the crew over at Key of Cheyenne. You'll find your best deal today on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations offering all kinds of banking services and then some. So you need to check out what Rick and the crew have for you over on Vandehigh and at the corner of College and Bergine, Platte Valley Bank times 2. Medicat Pharmacy, same location as always, right next door to Texas Roadhouse, again with your doctor's prescription. Matter of fact, did the order today, and matter of fact, it's all ready to rock and roll. They will fill those prescriptions. You come on by, pick them up. They even have a convenient drive-thru. Medicat Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, 2 locations, the Auto and Truck Repair Center, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue with a plethora of bays to get the work done, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center right there on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, across from Mondello's Pizzeria, which we'll talk about in a minute. First Tier Bank with great CD rates right now. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. 7 days a week, delicious Paisan cuisine is cooked up by Joe and the family. And, of course, over at Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, you give them a call today. You can still have your air conditioning worked on. However, we are getting to that time of year. We're about ready to flip the calendar over to fall, so you might want to have them look at the heating unit as well. And most importantly, want to say thank you to Pepsi of Cheyenne, sponsoring our Pepsi scoreboard, especially for Friday Night Lights, and each Monday through Friday, right now Monday through Thursday during Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We go to the scoreboard, and here's Nick.
LCCC was in action. We'll start on the men's soccer side this past weekend. They were down at Northwest College, getting at least victory 2-0 on Saturday. So for LCCC men's soccer, they are 3-2 overall on the season. Now the women, they were also 2 at Northwest College. They got underway just after the men. On Saturday, it was a 6-0 victory for the women. They are 4-4 on the season. And also, too, LCCC women's volleyball was in action this past weekend on Friday and Saturday. They were at the Pizza Hut Invitational down in Sterling, Colorado. They swept the entire series. They went 4-0, at least in the 4 games that they did have this past weekend. Women's volleyball, at least for LCCC, 10-6 overall. And as you mentioned again, Pepsi scoreboard was in action this past Friday between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne South, where East did come away with the 42-21 victory. So there is that. We'll go through the rest of the 4A, at least recaps from at least during the show. But thank you to we had around 3,000 people who tuned in, whether it was on the radio side, whether it was on 1480kray.com, Periscope, and YouTube. So thank you to all who did tune in for the contest this past Friday. We will have this Friday coming up at 7 o'clock pre-game about 6:30, 6:20-ish. Again, kind of tentative schedule, but we will be over in Laramie for Cheyenne Central, taking on the Laramie Plainsmen. That is a 7 o'clock kickoff. As I mentioned, 6:30 pregame here on 1480 K-Ray, 101.1 FM, 1480KRay.com, and Periscope and the 1480 K-Ray YouTube channel.
Major League Baseball, here's what the schedule is going to be like for this evening. In the late 7 o'clock hour, Cubs will take on the Diamondbacks, who are 4.5 games behind the Rockies. Oh, by the way, 8 o'clock hour, Rockies and the Dodgers from Chavez Ravine. John Gray, posed by Huyan Jinrao, as they will get things underway at Dodger Stadium at 8 p.m. Rockies lead Los Angeles by a half game. Elsewhere in the majors, when we get off the air, Blue Jays at the Orioles, Mets at the Phillies, Royals at the Pirates, Tigers will host the Twins, Nats at the Marlins, Cardinals at the Braves. It will be the Reds and the Brewers around 5:40, 6 o'clock hour, Rays at the Rangers, Mariners at the Astros, and in the 8 o'clock hour again, the Giants will face the Padres at Petco later on tonight. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. It is a Monday afternoon.
Did fail to mention as well, too, Monday Night Football on
That's right.
ESPN, Seattle versus Chicago, but who cares? Again, both teams that are not going to do anything this season. It's not even that must-watch TV.
Well, it is from the Soldier Field. The Bears will host the Seahawks.
I'd rather see your powerhouse of Colorado versus LA again. Here's the key matchup, at least in baseball, for the NL West, where this is maybe the determining factor of who takes over that West, who might be that winning team.
Well, they went back and forth this weekend. Giants sweeping the first two games, allowing the Dodgers to take a half-game lead. Yeah. And then yesterday, the Rocks finally won. The Dodgers finally lost. After putting 17 up on Saturday night, the Dodgers got shut out last night on Sunday Night Baseball.
I just love how you go, oh, the Giants have no shot. The Rockies are going to sweep this team. Giants are pathetic. Hey, guess what? They got back on the winning streak after losing, 12 in a row? They took 2 out of 3.
Stratton tosses a complete game. Mad Bum tosses 6 innings of shutout ball. They get 3 innings from their relievers, and even Melanson threw a good inning against the Rockies. I mean, what happened to the Rockies on Friday and Saturday? The bats just went.
No, it's a rivalry game. It is what we'll see against the Giants and Dodgers at the end of the season. Again, you're fighting to keep them out of the playoffs. Hey, guess what, Rockies? We don't like you. You're at home. And also, too, again, the Giants have one of the best.
Giants don't like anybody.
But I'm just saying, the Giants have one of the best home records in all of the NL West. They are, I do believe, 43 and about 30 losses, I do believe. But it's tied up there, I do believe, either with the Dodgers as one of the best home records in all of the NL West. Their issues is just on the road. They cannot win away from San Francisco.
Giants are 41-34. The Rocks are 41-33. LA is 39-36.
But go figure, a team that's in 4th place right now that's below 500, they have one of the best home records. Again, their issue this year is just on the road.
Yeah, they're awful on the road, 29-46. All right. We'll get to baseball later because we'll look at the standings.
There's baseball. We have also a post-game conference from Vance Joseph, Broncos head coach, after their
who beat the Raiders.
Lucky win against the Oakland Raiders, their come-from-behind win, so we'll hear from him.
I do want to mention Josh Allen tossing his first touchdown pass in the Buffalo loss. I mean, they tried to make a game of it against the Los Angeles Chargers. It's always tough for me to flip back and forth, but they did try to make a game of it. He did throw 2 INTs. I think his final numbers were 18 to 33. That's 54%.
Don't read too much into his numbers this season because, again, this team is just garbage. That offensive line is
how bad
awful.
is the team when your cornerback comes in at halftime and says, I quit, I retired?
He retired at halftime. Probably not the greatest thing for Vontae Davis to do, but he did, and it's just one of the pieces to fall for Buffalo. It is that kind of a season. It's going to be that season. Again, Buffalo is going to be that team that flirts with 0-16. I guarantee it. But Josh Allen, hey, he did the best of what he can do with a terrible team. It was bad again. No, but you always worry that eventually he's going to with that offensive line. That line is going to mess up one point in time, as we already saw in the preseason with the Bills, and you just worry about the guy. You worry about Josh Allen again. He's going to be the face of that franchise for the Bills, but sorry, if your line can't hold up and is making you run for your life, where Josh Allen is injury prone, we've seen it over in Laramie. This is higher talent. This is guys who are a little bit faster, a little stronger than what he saw in the Mountain West. So, best of luck to Josh Allen dealing with this team.
Patrick Mahomes will be the face of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I told you that.
The Vikings and the Packers, one of the best games yesterday. That ended a 29-29 tie. The Brownies, this is how bad the season is for the Browns. Tyrod Taylor makes a great pass. The guy makes a sensational catch in the end zone, and what does their kicker do?
He blows it.
He screws the kick.
So what?
Yeah, you knucklehead.
We had 2 others that did it as well, too.
Yeah, but they would have been ahead 19-18. That kind of takes a little
Again,
pressure
the Browns are not a playoff team, but it's a team that's not going.
They're not even a winning team.
They're 0-1-1.
That means they haven't won, right?
They will. This team I guarantee you, is going to win a game. It's going to win a few games this season. Again, I think they have pieces, as much as they just lost Josh Gordon, who has just recently been traded to the New England Patriots. But this is the Browns. They're going to be a team. They're not going playoff bound, but I don't anticipate an 0-15-1 season for the Browns coming up this season. They're going to get victories. It's only a time will tell of when they do. Again, they've been competitive against 2 pretty good teams. Again, Pittsburgh. I still think Pittsburgh has a lot of issues, especially with their loss yesterday.
At Heinz Field, too.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Steelers, but
defensively, they're not good.
Yeah.
The team that is good right now, L.A. Rams.
Well, we all know
Is
that. Is that any news?
Me to say.
Is that any news?
But I mean, they are a good outfit, and the team that's pretty bad are the Cardinals. All right.
Again, you're saying stuff that is nothing.
I know,
it's common knowledge.
But
nothing surprising.
We just want to throw that out.
So the surprising team right now is Tampa Bay.
Yeah, with Ryan Fitzpatrick, the much-traveled Ryan Fitzpatrick. Here's the deal. This kind of goes back to, and again, not to throw this out there, but the Colin Kaepernick / Alex Smith deal, where Smith lost his job to Kaepernick that year. They went to the Super Bowl and lost to Baltimore. The question is, Jameis Winston is the starting QB. He got suspended for what? Was it 4 games, if I'm not mistaken?
4 or 5, something like that.
He's suspended, and Fitzpatrick is 2-0. I mean, he's throwing the football all over the place.
If you're Tampa Bay, you keep with Fitzpatrick. Why entertain with Jameis Winston?
Because Jameis Winston's not that good.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. Why would you go away from what's hot, what's winning right now, what's getting you, victories for this ball club that wasn't anticipated?
But we all got angry though that Alex Smith did not get his position back as the first
there's
teamer.
A difference between suspension and also too where Alex Smith got injured. He had a concussion and had to deal with that. So hey, here's Kaepernick who took advantage of the situation. You go with the hot hand, and guess what? He was the hot hand that brought him to that Super Bowl, and it is what it is.
I guarantee you, without Fitzpatrick there, the way he's been playing, they don't beat the Eagles yesterday. Jameis Winston does not make the plays that Fitzpatrick does.
Yeah,
he's a veteran. He has been through the NFL wars. He knows what it's all about. Winston has just not developed into that winning attitude quarterback that Tampa Bay needs, and I think they got a steal in having Fitzpatrick right now. And again, they're just 2-0 to start the season, but the big win yesterday over the Eagles.
And with the Eagles as well too, they've announced that that Nick Foles will no longer be starting for this team because Carson Wentz has been cleared, so he will start coming up week 3. So the Eagles looking to get back on the right track with their QB that brought them that fortunate, at least that great season last year, again, helped them develop into a playoff-bound team, and Nick Foles just kind of carried up the pieces. So Carson Wentz will be starting for the Eagles coming up in Week 3.
And we'll come back to the NFL. We'll hear some comments from Vance Joseph on the victory yesterday against the Oakland Raiders. What we'll do before we get into Wyoming Cowboys discussion, we'll take a break here in a little bit, but I want to go real quick on the high school scene this past Friday night. A game that we did, which I really enjoyed.
Which it seemed like everyone in the state was covering at.
But it's okay. I mean, it was a good contest between Cheyenne East and Cheyenne South. Hats off to South.
Yeah, I think absolutely. What I talked about last week is what South pretty much brought to the table against Cheyenne East, of trying to, again, go off of those small victories that you had at Kelly Walsh, whether it was putting on points on the board finally. And what I told, at least what I kind of reiterated the South High Fighting Bison for this, at least past Friday, was, hey, try and win a quarter. Well, they did that. They had a point. There was a point in time where South was leading this contest. They were tied, I do believe, at half until Cheyenne East kind of came out at halftime and just exploded on offense. But
4 straight touchdowns.
Yeah, but I mean, for South, as much as it was a loss and you lost by 21 points, but I still think it's a very valiant effort that South put up on, at least not at home. Again, you were on the road to a very, the number 4 ranked Cheyenne East Thunderbirds. You gave it to them. You gave it your all. Yeah. You gave it your all, and again, it was those small positives where, hey, you won a quarter. You were tied at half. These are small positives that are translating into maybe South can, maybe next week they improve even more. Again, they will be on the road at Rock Springs. Rock Springs is nothing to.
Yeah, they're 2-2. I think they're going to have a tough road to hoe. But the thing in that game against Cheyenne East, you go back to that ball game where the Thunderbirds score on their first possession, third quarter, and the second possession in the third quarter for South, where they had the young man Dominguez open in the seam, and he dropped that pass. If he catches that pass, we might be talking about a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Even Chad Goff mentioned that on our post-game show, too, when we were talking with him. It was like he catches that. And then also, too, Garcia. He was basically a no-show until like late in the fourth quarter. Now, again, don't know what the offensive game plan was, and they're not going to challenge it. All I know is they came out with their flex bone. The young man at the quarterback position, Burns, he's going to be a good one. He's 6'5". He can throw the football. So South has gotten better each game.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that's a positive, at least, mindset for the Cheyenne South Fighting Bison. Again, this is a team that I don't think is going to go winless in this year. Again, I think they'll find victories even on the road. Something tells me that Rock Springs does not impress me at all. The only advantage is it is in Rock Springs for this Friday night for Cheyenne South, but this is a South High team that needs to carry this momentum. Again, you've built up these small little stepping stones to get a victory, at least get your first victory at least on this season. Maybe this is that time where you've built enough again. You've won a quarter. You've won a half. You were tied with a team that was ranked at least this past Friday. Now here's your chance. A Rock Springs team that is a little down. Again, that almost lost to a Cheyenne Central on the road. Again, your only advantage is that it is in Rock Springs for the Tigers. And
they did shut down Spiegelberg this weekend.
Kelly Walsh,
that's the first team.
Kelly Walsh, I don't know what to make of. Again, they are 2-2 as well. Kelly Walsh, so far,
should be in the upper echelon. They should be. They're not that bad. I think they're an okay team.
I mean, I don't know about that. I really don't. In my opinion, Kelly Walsh, I would probably put Laramie above Kelly Walsh as who is a better outfit. But it's going to be an interesting contest. Again, Rock Springs does not impress me. Would not surprise me if Cheyenne South finally, if their first victory on this season comes up this Friday. Well, it would not surprise me.
They're going to have to play mistake-free football, and they can't let teams march up and down them like East did. I mean, East was very surgical in their performance.
It took them an entire half to figure it out.
But the second half, they figured it out. And what did they do? 4 straight possessions, touchdowns.
I think for South, it's right now is to carry that momentum. Halftime is what kind of messes up this team. And we saw that with on the road against Kelly Walsh, where they were competitive, kept the Trojans kind of close in that contest. Here you were tied with at least Cheyenne East this past Friday. Again, South, their only issue right now from probably picking up these victories and carrying momentum of what they brought in from the first half is, again, just get out of this funk that they have at halftime. They need to come out firing, come out guns a-blazing in that third quarter. We'll see if they can get it done against Rock Springs. So let's see if that, again, as I've kind of piece by piece every week for this South High team, I think for this week, you got to come out and make a statement in that third quarter, carry that momentum, and maybe that will change at least towards a victory for South High.
If you missed out over the weekend, number one, Natrona 37, Laramie 14. Not bad for Laramie.
I think Laramie's a very competitive team.
I think Central's going to have their hands full this weekend. Number 2, Thunder Basin beat number 3, Sheridan.
Thunder Basin's for real.
We weren't really shocked by that win. East 42, South 21. Rock Springs over Kelly 14-7, and then Cheyenne Central picking up their first victory as they knocked off Campbell County in Gillette 35-8.
That score you gave earlier, again, 14-7 for Rock Springs. Again, Kelly Walsh is not an upper echelon team, in my opinion. I really don't think so. But anyways, you can believe whatever you want. But
no, I thought they were. I didn't say they are now. I said I thought they were. When they matched up with the East, and again, the way that game ended, I thought these two teams were definitely a 4 and 5, and they would probably meet in the first round of the playoffs. Now I don't believe they will. Anyway, Campbell County, with their loss, they dropped to 0-4. They are currently in the middle of a 14-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Ouch.
No, well.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We will be back with more after these words right here in 1480 K-Ray.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
For over 50 years, Capital Lumber Company has offered a full line of hardware and lumber selections. Plenty of materials, even for the do-it-yourselfer. So talk with one of the many experts today at Capital Lumber Company. Capital Lumber Company is the best in the region, and they are your true value hardware store. Lumber One in Cheyenne. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Another round of Supervise heard only right here. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 750 milliliter bottle, $16.99. Camarena Silver or Reposado Tequila, 750 milliliter bottle, $15.49. And Tecate or Tecate Light, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, $11.49. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway. Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Don't move firewood. Firewood can carry insects and diseases that kill trees. Remember to always get firewood as close to your destination as possible. Burn firewood where you buy or gather it. Trees in towns and forests are threatened by native and exotic insects and diseases that can hitch a ride in a load of firewood. Let's keep forests healthy so we can continue to enjoy camping, hiking, hunting, and fishing. Brought to you by the Wyoming State Forestry Division in cooperation with the U.S. Forest Service.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 85. Partly cloudy for tonight, our low down to 50. Sunshine for your Tuesday, expected daytime high of 81. Partly cloudy Tuesday night with our low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast, mostly sunny. We're looking for a daytime high of 81 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. And for Wednesday night, partly cloudy with our low down to 47.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Quick check on the schedule for the high schools here before we move on to Wyoming Cowboys. Campbell County, Thunder Basin, the Battle of Gillette. Campbell County High School.
That's going to be ugly.
Excuse me, that'll be at Thunder Basin High School coming up on Friday night.
Will be ugly.
Let's just move on here. Central's at Laramie. East will host Natrona at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. It will be Sheridan, and they will be at Casper Kelly Walsh at Harry Gelding Stadium, and the South High Fighting Bison, as Nick mentioned, on the road at Rock Springs. All right, Let's, again, phone number here is 307-514-1071. 307-514-1071 if you want to chime in. And we are going to get into Wyoming Cowboys talk. And to be real honest,
here's your opportunity to say what you want. You've hyped it up this entire weekend of your opinion. Again, I've told you that this Cowboys team is going to be lucky if they get a bowl. Again, this is a New Mexico. If they can get that 6 wins, which looking at that schedule coming up, I don't really see it. But I've been telling you this since preseason of the team, of my opinion, that this team is going to struggle. I thought they were way too highly ranked, at least in the Mountain West standings, at least the preseason rankings. Again, finishing number 2 behind Boise. Again, who was the one saying, hey, everyone needs to back up and give more respect to Utah States of the world? Air Force, I think, is going to be a little bit improved. CSU, I don't know what to make of them. Again, they've taken on 2, or at least Hawaii is a for-real team, but again, going down to Florida, no easy task. You got very fortunate again. Arkansas, they have a really tough opening, kind of at least four games.
Did UCLA?
Well,
you know, and Boise State.
I'm just talking on the mountain side.
Boise State hung tough with Oklahoma State, and I told you when we made our picks, I said Oklahoma State usually has that one game during the season where they knock off a big ranked opponent. But you know, I'm going to agree with you, and this is you know what. I have sat on the bandwagon. I have sat here and said, give the guy a break, you know, especially when they were going. No, wait, let me finish.
I just want to preface, this is where you're going to be a little heated because your expectations were way too high. Mine were kind of, this is what at this point in time for the Cowboys, this is what I expect.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. Change needs to be made now. You know, I have sat here and backed up Coach Craig Bull. The guy's 24-31, for gosh sakes, in 5 seasons. 2 of those seasons, he's lucky that he had Josh Allen as the quarterback. The year he had Cam Kaufman at quarterback, they went 2-10, and they lost to the likes of University of North Dakota.
Oh, I've seen
another one of those FCS teams.
Yeah, but I've seen that team go up to the Kibito and beat Idaho when they were part of the WAC.
Here we go. Here's where I'm at with this one.
Granted, Idaho was pretty
with
terrible.
The win, Bull improves to 24-31 in his 5 seasons with the Cowboys. They're 2-2 this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what game you saw. First off, they said there was 20,000 people there.
No, there's
I'll
no way.
challenge that right away. There wasn't 20,000 people in that stadium. You and I noticed that right away. The opening day against Washington State, where they had all the walk-ups.
Yeah,
everybody was in place by kickoff. About 2:00, right? There wasn't any lines to get in. Come on.
Well, not for Wofford, but for Washington State, that line was.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It took a while to get at least those folks in well into the first quarter. But no, for Wofford, it was pretty much even 10 minutes before the game, the lines were cut off.
Here's where I'm at today. And I have been challenged, or I was actually put in my place, so to speak, by Coach Bull, because I challenged how the offense ran last year. And now I understand how the offense runs.
And I printed out stats as well, too, at least
we got numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
Now that tells me that Josh Allen was a great quarterback at UW. And a lot of those plays that he did ad-libbing, and a lot of them he was running for his life, especially last year when he didn't have the weapons.
I give credit last year to Josh Allen, but also to, again, the defense. I think the defense.
I'm talking offensive side here.
I get that, but I'm just saying of what we saw of last season from Wyoming. Again, I give credit to Josh Allen. We know the talent that he has, but also to that defense who allowed this team to be competitive.
This offensive coordinator, Brett Vegan, you need to go. You need to resign. Your offense, your packages stink. They're terrible.
Yeah, they're
so predictable. We sat up there in the press box and called what he was going to run.
Well, now, Coach Bull, you've been doing that for like a season and a half. I mean, it's not hard.
Coach Bull, you could stand behind Vegan. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he's going to. Absolutely.
But this isn't the minor leagues. This is Division I football.
What his offense got done, at least at North Dakota State, was, again, it shows that it works in FCS. Hey, you got a 3-point victory against an FCS team on Saturday. Clearly, it works there in Division I AA, but here, at least in the big times, it's not.
For 20,000,
it's really not.
If there were 20,000 fans there, and most of them were from Cheyenne, I'm going to ask you guys right now: was Wofford that good of a team? Am I missing something? Were they that good?
I give them respect, but are they a team that could compete against other Mountain West teams? No. It's a team I do not disrespect. I don't go, no, that team. To be careful with my words here again, Wyoming absolutely should have cruised to victory in this, but I also, again, seeing that Wofford team, it's a team that could have easily beat Wyoming, but probably no one else in the Mountain West.
Here's where I stand. The Wyoming Cowboys should have had no problems with this team.
No, absolutely.
They should have ran up more than 17 points. Here's the problem.
And you got lucky with 17. Again, they got lucky with the victory because, again, they came their tail end the last few seconds of the fourth quarter. You got lucky that you beat Wofford.
Here's the problem we got right now, gang. We're wearing out the defense.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Again, here we are 4 games into the season, and I've told you that every single time, other than New Mexico State.
Here's the stat. Listen to the statter. Possession time. Wofford, 31 minutes and 36 seconds. Wyoming, 28-24. That's a lot of 3-and-outs, Nick.
Yeah. I'd read also, too, a lot into that, again, with the flex bone where they were running a lot. Again, that takes a lot of the play time.
We had 7 punts against Wofford. 7 punts.
Which is inexcusable against this team. It shouldn't be like that.
Wofford punted 6 times. I can live with that. We punted 7 times against Wofford. What does that tell you about our offense?
That's terrible.
What does that tell you about the package that Brent Vegan is putting on the field every weekend?
Well, and before you get
he needs to go bye-bye.
Well,
bye.
Well, I would agree with you on that. But, again, the preference of what I've been saying for the past couple of weeks is I think the offense, at least the talent that is on this Wyoming Cowboys team, we have good talent. Again, with Tyler Vanderwall, I think he can do something special when he has the opportunity. This offensive line, when it's not banged up, can be good. The wide receivers, a little questionable, but I think better than what we had last year.
Again, Price, I like those guys.
I think our running backs as well, too, when we do get Bigelow and when you get Nico Evans back, again, I think Evans is fantastic.
They did all right.
Absolutely. He did pretty reasonable. I think what it is, it's not the issue with the talent that's a part of this Cowboys team. I think it stands with a Brent Vegan. I think it stands with that coaching staff of why is this not translating? Why have you set up this offense to be that predictable? Why do you put a running play when you're when it's third down and you're 15 yards away from a first down? Why would you do that?
It's interesting.
You know that it hasn't, and we saw how many times of you're down 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15, these long distance kind of drives, again, to get that first down. And how many times you did it once to run, it didn't work.
Right.
Oh, let's try it again. Well, it didn't work. You went for it 3 times, it still didn't work. Are you just kind of gambling on this? You're just trying to play odds of maybe one of these will work in our favor? I don't get it. I've never understood that. Why would you run the ball when, again, it's a 3rd down situation? You're that far away. It hasn't worked for you before. Why do it again?
Well, I can't answer that question because
I get that.
All we know is we know what play was being called. Here's the interesting part. 3rd quarter stats had the Wyoming Cowboys total offense for 3 quarters at 150 yards. Now, they put it into gear in the 4th quarter. That was coming from behind, though.
Yeah, that's when they were down.
They were behind. So they ended up with 313 total yards against Wofford. Wofford Terriers.
Whoop-de-doo.
313 total yards. It's ridiculous. Again,
this is a team, again, I printed out stats from last year and also to this season. For 2018 for Wyoming, they're pretty much at least ranking in total yards that this team has put up on offense. 8th puts them there in the Mountain West. The interesting stat that I find is points per game, as they've had 4 games under their belt.
And they're the lowest.
It's the dead last team in the Mountain West. At 19.5 points is what they're averaging right now of offensive scoring. Pretty pathetic.
It's even scarier that San Jose State has scored more points than Wyoming.
Yeah.
They're averaging 20 a game.
That's why I don't say that San Jose State game. I don't really think that's a guaranteed win right now.
So the Wyoming Cowboys through the air passing are averaging 147 yards each game,
which doesn't put them dead last. It's
no, but
pretty much down there at the tail end of the Mountain West. Obviously, what team's going to be at the dead last is Air Force because again, what do they do is they run it every single time.
And then running the ball, we average 157 yards. So we're very balanced. We're averaging 304 yards per game.
Yeah.
Air Force averages more than us.
The biggest question right now is, especially on that offense, for Brent Vegan and that at least that coaching staff is, do we not have confidence in Tyler Vanderwall? Is it because he is a redshirt freshman that we're afraid to let him throw the ball? Is it because we think he's just too young to do it? And if that's so, why don't we have, Nick Smith out there? Why don't we have other of these quarterbacks? If you're too afraid to let Tyler Vanderwall play football and be the quarterback and just basically rely on rushing.
But Nick, last year they had Nick Smith out there, and they ran Brent
I'm just saying, if
offense.
You don't have confidence, if this is not your guy, then why are you putting him out there?
I don't have confidence in our offensive coordinator. I don't have any confidence in this offensive package. This offensive package is not good.
No, it really isn't.
And
it's not
again,
working.
You know what? Take away my media pass. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have been to many Cowboy games, and I told you this when we were walking out, and you were too young. Mm-hmm. If I'd known any better, I thought Vic Koenig was coaching our team. That's how bad the offense was.
Yeah. And this isn't sentiments that
it's
only
on pass.
I'm just saying this is not sentiments that we only have. A lot of Cowboy fans are reiterating, and again, obviously with social media, everyone has an opinion and it can speak loudly and have their voice out there. But there are a lot of people, especially in our industry, where they're looking at this Cowboys team and asking the same things of what is going on here. A lot of people, and I even put it out on the Twitter side just as a joke of saying this Wyoming Cowboys offense, or at least a summary of it, and I put a little gif of saying it was boring. A lot of people got onto that going, at least kind of agreeing with that. It's a serious situation. Again, I don't blame the talents. I don't blame the tools that the Cowboys have. I think we have the raw talent there. I think Tyler Vanderwall
even with the injuries we have some good depth.
But it just seems those offensive plays are holding these guys back. They're holding them back. They're not allowing them to be what they are. Again, Tyler Vanderwall, what he can do, what I've seen when he is able to throw the ball, he looks a lot like Josh Allen. He looks like one of those run-and-gun quarterbacks that can be something. Again, if he is allowed to the tools around him and has that opportunity, this guy could be an NFL draft pick. And again, he could be the next coming of Josh Allen for the Wyoming Cowboys. But this offensive package is kind of holding him back.
Well, and the same thing too is to Brent Vegan. While you're sitting up top with the rest of us, I know you got the headsets on, but you might have been hearing in the background that the offensive unit was getting booed when they were doing their 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
Because of your lousy play calling. And again, I sit up there.
I mean, that crowd, other than booing on the offense, it was quiet that entire game.
And we met eye to eye when he came out at halftime. And I looked him straight in the eye, and it's like, you know what? This stinks. And he doesn't care. But you know what? Take your nickel and dime offense and go back to North Dakota State with it. Maybe that'll work there for you.
Clearly it did. Again, it bought you a 3-point victory.
Remind him and Coach Bull, this is the big leagues now. You're playing with the big boys. And you can't bring this nickel and dime offense in there. It's not that good.
Oh no, it's not getting it done. It got it done for you up in North Dakota State against.
We can't change it now. We're 4 games into the season. We're stuck with it.
That's no excuse. That's no excuse. I think
they can't change it because they don't know how to change it. It's a pro-style offense. Well, you know what? Most pro teams score.
Yeah.
Most pro teams actually gain yards.
They put up more points per game than 19.5 of what it is right now. But again, this is a trend that's continuing on from last season, even with Josh Allen. Again, continuing on. This was a Wyoming team from last year that was 12th in the Mountain West. It was one of the worst offensive production teams in all of the Mountain West. It was averaging 23.5 points per game. It only had 3,718 yards in total of offense. Again, all these stats put them dead last in the Mountain West. It's a continuing trend right now into this season. Again, we're only 4 games in, but it's a telltale sign. That's a Wofford team I give a little respect to. Again, they are forced down the FCS, but they're in the FCS for a reason. You're in the FBS for a reason, and you won by you were lucky to win that game. You were fortunate to win that game. It took you one great fourth quarter drive at the end to win that contest against Wofford.
And that should have never took place.
But also, too, again, I go back to last week. I said, it's not out of the realm. And I told you at that game, it's not out of the realm that Wofford wins this game. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me if they won barely by a point or two, which they did. Now, in my mind of what Wyoming should have done, has blown that team completely out of the water. This was that opportunity for the Cowboys offense to explode, put up 40, 45, 50 points on that board against this Wofford team like they've done in the past against those lower echelon teams, but they still couldn't get it done.
This is,
and I give credit to the defense. Again, defense. There's nothing bad I can ever say about this defense. They're fantastic. Again, stopping that Wofford team again, only allowing 14 points. You feel bad for the defense. They're getting gassed. And you start to worry about injury as well, too, of how long this defense has to be out on the field because of the Cowboys' offense going 3 and out.
Yeah, the offense makes the defense work twice as hard.
You feel bad, and again, it kind of goes in my mind. I start to worry about those pieces maybe getting a little tired, and maybe a little, they're out there for too long, running injury risks. It is something. Again, you have a bye week. You have 2 weeks before Boise. Boise's a ranked team. They're very good. This is a team that I anticipated was going to run the table. Obviously not now. Again, their loss with Oklahoma State. But it's a team that should cruise through the Mountain West. Good luck.
And they're going to score a lot of points. They're going to score a lot of points on Wyoming because if the offense goes 1, 2, 3, punt, guess what? Boise's going to eventually wear out our defense.
This is a team that takes advantage. With Ripien at the QB position for Boise State, he takes advantage of that.
Like I said, I sat here. I've been on that bandwagon. And I'm sorry, I jump off it now. I can't support this administration that is running this ball club because I'm sorry. And don't tell me to go out there and coach the ball club. I'm not going to coach the team. I'm just telling you what I see. And you've sat there and told me this is what's going to happen. And guess what? It doesn't happen because you don't have a plan.
Again, I wouldn't fault Craig Bowl on this. I think he has a good direction. I think he has, but I think he has bad pieces around him right now.
Those are the pieces he selected.
I get that.
They've been with him for a long. Nick. They've been with him for a long time. Yeah. He's been questioned about it before.
Yeah. Well, he's been questioned about it.
He's questioned about it again.
This has been going on for about 2 years now.
This offense is not good. Not with the current playbook that they have installed.
The playbook needs to be burned and thrown away. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And again, where does that start? It starts with your offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
and don't tell me 4 weeks in. Don't tell me 4 weeks in you cannot change an offensive coordinator. You absolutely can. You can absolutely change that play calling around. At least adjust it to a better way. Don't give me that. I think you absolutely can.
And again, do you think I'm overreacting? Give me a call, 514-1071.
I don't think you're overreacting.
I am so angry.
And you should be. Again,
you and me, we talked about it for 45 minutes on the ride home. I was angry. I was spitting bullets. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I even said what South did against Cheyenne East. And again, nickels and dimes, obviously, apples and oranges. But at least they came out with a plan.
Yeah.
This game plan is the same. It is so predictable. And Vegan, if you don't have any confidence in your starting 11, then maybe you need to go dig down deeper and find somebody who's there who could do your playbook. But your playbook belongs where it belongs, FCS. Go play in the minor leagues. That's where you belong, pal. This is the big leagues.
I wouldn't say the minor leagues, but okay.
Well, it's one
division lower.
They're AAA. This is the majors. And you're not giving us D1 plays. You're giving us crap. And you know what? I feel bad for those kids because those kids are working hard, both offensively and defensively.
I don't fault any player on there. I think we have the talent. We have the tools here to do something great.
Into the huddle, and here comes a play, and it's like, geez, we got to run that garbage play.
Yeah.
They tried even an end around where Vanderwall even went out there and tried to throw a block. I said, hey, great. They got one gadget play. Woo! One whole gadget play in the whole game.
Which didn't work too well, but
at least got positive yardage. It was one of the few times they got positive yardage. So, again, your thoughts on it. They got Boise State. Thank goodness it's a bye week. They'll get a chance. No, they get a chance to get a couple guys healed up.
Healthy, yeah, absolutely. But Boise State, this is not going to be a chore. Again, if you put up an offense like that, it's not going to get done against Boise. Boise is going to thrash this team at this point in time. Again, that defense is going to keep them true for about 3 quarters. And then, again, of what we've seen with Missouri, with Washington State, guess what? These upper echelon teams, hey, this is a team that's now ranked. We're now seeing a team that's ranked, or at least was ranked. We'll see if they fall out after the loss. Well, I don't think so. But with Boise State, this is, again, you're now seeing true blue. This is higher competition coming to Laramie. Good luck.
Well, here's the deal.
Good
too.
luck.
If you're happy with going to the Poinsettia Bowl,
they're not making. This is a team that's fortunate to make the New Mexico.
If you're happy to go to the Poinsettia Bowl and you're happy to go to the famous Potato Bowl, then, Wyoming fans, great, terrific. Then you get to go to postseason play and, whoopie-doopie. I'd like to go somewhere where it's a little bigger, a little more prestigious, and it pays out a little better.
Yeah.
But to pay out a little bit better, you got to win out. You got to win the conference. You got to win the Mountain West Conference Championship. But you're not going to win the Mountain West Conference Championship with the current offensive coordinator that's in place right now at the University of Wyoming. Case closed. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's where I leave it.
All right.
So if you want to go to a minor bowl and get your 6 wins, which I don't think they can. I don't think they can get 6 wins now.
Looking at that schedule, I don't know if you have it in front of you, but again, home for Boise State.
Nope. At Hawaii? Nope.
No, Hawaii, that is definitely.
At Fresno State, who beat UCLA?
No, that's. Nope. So that's 3 straight losses right there.
Utah State?
No. Utah State, again, Utah State.
Okay.
I don't know why people disrespected this team. The Aggies are very good. This is a team that deserved to be behind Boise.
Let me stop you right there. So that only leaves me 3 games left. They're 2-2 right now. Yeah. So that leaves you CSU. Excuse me, it leaves me 4 games. CSU at Colorado State.
That one's tough.
San Jose State at home. Air Force at home.
Those are 3 games. They're in my opinion toss-up. I think Air Force, again, of what we saw.
Mexico.
What we saw from Wofford is what's going to be a little bit more talented, a little bit more higher level of what we saw from that Air Force Falcons team. Sure, they got to come up here, but you barely won against Air Force, or at least Wofford. Now you're going to see a much more improved and at least a better talented team in Air Force coming up who runs the same thing. Who says you can win that game? San Jose State, that as much as Wofford was that guaranteed win, it should be, but I'm not sure. Again, CSU has worlds of trouble as well, but again, they did pick up a great victory against Arkansas. They beat an SEC team.
Right now,
this is a team that's also been battered by some very good talent. And again, it's kind of an indication of why they're 1-3. Again, you lost to Hawaii. That's very good. Florida on the road. I don't know. And then also too, again, as you mentioned with CSU, San Jose State, Air Force.
Well, anyway, going back to Wofford,
can they get 6 wins this year?
Wofford had 221 yards rushing. Okay. Air Force averages 271 on the ground. Wofford threw 73 yards passing. Air Force averages about 100 yards passing. So, to me, that equates points.
Yeah.
And that also tells me if we're not going to score, Air Force might score 3 more than us. Air Force might be the team that prevents us from winning 6 games this year.
Possibly.
Who knows?
Very possible.
So, gang, we got problems. And
will things happen? Will things change in Wyoming?
Probably not.
Probably not. And that's the unfortunate thing. And I think we're right now.
So my question
to summarize of all this is, we have the tools, we have the talent, we just have the coaching staff. And again, I won't put it on Greg Bowl, but I put it on his coordinators. I think it's more the offensive coordinator of going, hey, you're holding this team back of what it can be. Well, the potential that this team has is very high and above. You're holding it way back.
Head coach has all the power.
I get that. Yeah.
And he's not making the move, and he knows he needs to make the move. If this team goes 5-8 this year, if they go 5-8,
yeah,
what are you going to do then? Athletic Director Tom Berman, what are you going to do then?
They're going to probably come out and say, hey, the team is young. Let's look forward to next season.
It's a veteran defense, Nick.
I'm just saying, we know how they'll go. We know how those press conferences go. And again, it will be, I'll use the term excuse. They'll say we're a young and developing team on the offense. I guarantee it. Again, they're going to go and point, hey, Tyler Vanderwall's a redshirt freshman. Then my argument would be, why not go with the senior Nick Smith? Why wouldn't you go for the guy who's
because he already failed on the lousy offensive system last year.
And I don't now even looking back at Nick Smith, or at least with his offense, I don't even blame him for the San Jose State loss. I think it's just because again, this offensive package is not. It's awful. It's terrible. This pro style offense is just garbage. It does not work for Wyoming Cowboys. We need something new.
I don't know which pro team is using it. You know, it really, if you want an offense that might work there, Mr. Vegan, you might want to go look at the old West Coast offense. Maybe you might get some better results with the West Coast offense than the pro-style offense, because obviously
the West Coast offense that Pac-12 teams use at
where they score points and get offensive yards.
Well,
yeah, that might be the ticket. But then again, hey, you know, I might just be whining out loud, but I think I'm one of many that are pretty ticked off with your system.
I don't think we're out of line. I don't think we're one of the few. This is a growing trend. It's been continuing from last season as well. That this is a situation that needs to be addressed immediately. This is unacceptable for this team. Again, 2-2. You had shots against Missouri. You had a shot against.
You should have beat Washington State.
Absolutely.
You and I
there's no doubt.
You and I talked about.
There's no excuse you lost to the Cougars.
And it was like, are you kidding me? You gave up, and basically the defense. Not so much rolled over and played dead.
I don't say
they were wiped out in the fourth quarter.
I don't blame the defense for that loss. Again, they gave their all. They gave their hearts out there, and again, they just got winded.
Right.
There's nothing against
right now for the Wyoming Cowboys. If you think about it, their punting team. I'm telling you, if you're on the punt team right now for Wyoming, you know you've got a job, because you're going to be out there at least 7-8 times a game.
And the punting team as well too. I think with the kickers,
Zaleski wasn't all that great. But, I mean, you're out there 7 times?
I wouldn't say he wasn't great, because, again, we're seeing a lot of them.
Yeah, but he's out there against Wofford.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I don't think Zaleski was down, or, again, not saying he wasn't great. Again,
he was hitting more.
We had a large sample size of seeing how many times he's out there.
He's hitting more line drives, and he needs to get more airtime, especially there at 7,220 feet. So, again, going back to that Washington State game, how we lost that thing, I'm still scratching my head over that. Oh, I know why we lost it. Because we got a terrible offensive coordinator for the University of Wyoming who calls lousy plays. Tear up the playbook, go to a West Coast offense, and get rid of the pro-style offense, because you don't have a clue that this is Division I. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words right here on 1480 K-Ray.
For 56 years, 1480 K-Ray has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both K-Ray and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner. The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, proven and respected when it comes to the care of your vehicle. For nearly 25 years, Cars has been there to repair and fix those minor problems to get you back on the road without major difficulties. And now, as we do more traveling at this time of year, see Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service first for your car or truck when it comes to tuning it up, an oil change, brakes, shocks, work on your air conditioning unit, and so much more. John and his crew at Cars gives your vehicle the precise detail it deserves. Respect it with quality workmanship. Always bring your vehicle to Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service at 604 West Lincoln Way. Call for an appointment at 632-0498. Open Monday through Friday. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Roger's already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Roger's RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
The next time you have a craving for authentic Mexican cuisine, visit Hacienda Guadalajara at 317 East Lincoln Way. Locally owned and operated, they serve their dishes with family tried and true recipes with the freshest of ingredients, made to order. Start off your meal with their complimentary chips, salsa, and bean dip. And if you're feeling adventurous, enjoy your favorite margarita or cerveza. Hacienda Guadalajara, where the spice is always nice.
Get the unexpected with the new 2018 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and with Kia Sorento, you get intelligent and advanced technology for a better driving experience. The 2018 Kia Sorento helps you stay on course with available autonomous emergency braking and a lane departure warning system. Kia Sorento is also available with surround view monitor and parking assist to warn you of nearby vehicles. Come in today or call us at 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Do you know that almost 165,000 new cases of prostate cancer will occur in the U.S. this year? Do you know that prostate cancer will be diagnosed in 1 out of every 9 males during his lifetime? Cheyenne Urological reminds everyone that September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and checkups are a key component to avoiding prostate cancer. So, gentlemen, stay healthy. Get a checkup. Call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 and make an appointment today. That's 635-4131.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 85. Partly cloudy for tonight, our low down to 50. Sunshine for your Tuesday, expected daytime high of 81. Partly cloudy Tuesday night with our low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast, mostly sunny. We're looking for a daytime high of 81 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. And for Wednesday night, partly cloudy with our low down to 47.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today, hour number 2, being brought to you by Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D. In the Greenway Commons, First Tier Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, that can be found on Pershing Boulevard, the main repair center over on Dunn Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations to serve you. The original location on Vanda High on the north side, and the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing, Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Menards, with 2 convenient drive-thrus. And you're only going to get it at Chick-fil-A, Windmill, and Del Range. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Taco John's of Cheyenne, and we always get our hours started each hour with our scoreboard. And our scoreboard, even during Friday Night Lights, brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
LCCC in action this past weekend. We'll start with soccer on the men's side. They were at Northwest College on Saturday. They got a 2-0 victory there, so they sit 3-2 overall. Women, they were in Northwest College as well on Saturday. They got their game underway just as the men wrapped up. They came away with a 6-0 victory, and they are 4-4 overall. LCCC women's volleyball, they were down in Sterling, Colorado this past weekend. They were at the Pizza Hut Invitational and went 4-0. They went 4-0 against the likes of a Northeast Community College, Northeastern Junior College, Midland College, and Lamar Community College. The LCCC women's volleyball sits at 10-6 overall. As he mentioned with high school football, we will have more coming up this Friday, as we'll be in Laramie for the Laramie Plainsmen hosting the Central High Indians. as that game will get underway at 6 o'clock kickoff, 6:30-ish. Tentative schedule for pregame might go 6:20, but we'll give you that more information as we get closer to the game. But again, we will have Central versus Laramie coming up this Friday, live in Laramie. Central looking to continue that momentum.
Monday Night Football from the National Football League. It'll be at historic Soldier Field. The Bears hosting the Seattle Seahawks.
Boring.
Yes. Major League Baseball not boring, though, tonight. Rockies and the Dodgers, 8 o'clock tonight at Dodger Stadium. John Gray against Hyunjin Ryu, as they will get things underway at 8 p.m. In front of that, at 7:40 at Chase Field, the Diamondbacks will match up against the Cubs. Rockies lead the Dodgers as we start today, a half game, 4.5 ahead of the D-backs. 8:10 tonight, we'll go with one more late game, Giants and the Padres at Petco. Who cares? Other games on the slate when we get off the air: Blue Jays at the Orioles, Mets and the Phillies, Royals at the Pirates, Twins at the Tigers, Nats at the Marlins. Cardinals still with something to play for. They'll take on the Braves in Cumberland, Georgia. Reds and the Brewers at Miller Park, Rays at the Rangers. M's will take on the Astros at Minute Maid. That'll be in the 6 o'clock hour. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Still to come this hour, we'll be hearing from Vance Joseph on the win yesterday against the Oakland Raiders at Broncos Field at Mile High Stadium. Also, we'll check out on the NFL. And, of course, the pennant races that are going on in Major League Baseball. Right now, we're going to talk some more Wyoming Cowboy football. We go to the phone line. And good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up there, Ryan? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little less wound up than you are, Mr. Peretti, although it sort of seems like you and I could have quite a conversation about the game. I find myself in the apologist position in regards to some of my observations relative to yours. I am, of course, everybody's tickled to be 2-2 at this point with the idea that we're the aim is for bowl eligibility, and I guess time to start thinking about Boise. Of course, it just by no means and stretch of the imagination did I come away thinking, wow, Wyoming sure earned that win. In fact, I did think the opposite. Although in regards to the offense and the coaching, aspects of it, I do think personnel plays a factor in some things. The fact that with the third string running back, the fact that we're only running with one tight end, the fact that we kind of had to our backup center, to some degree, our plays do seem vanilla, but we are trying to develop kids into the, kind of a little bit more of a straight ahead, out-muscle some teams approach that Craig Bowl was successful in, when he was in North Dakota. And I still think in very much, Wyoming would love to see Craig Bowl create what he created back when he was there. And I feel like, I'm not a coach firer. And I look at that as, boy, we start firing coaches and all of a sudden we're there's some kids with some sincere loyalties there. There's some kids that said, I'm coming to Wyoming to play for you, Coach. And maybe some feel like that about Coach Vigen. Results speak for themselves, and you guys are categorically correct with your stats this year and last year. But once again we got away with a win, and I'm happy that we did, and I'm glad we need the opportunity to rest and recover. So because I don't think we'll get blown out by Boise. I don't think we're that bad, and I think our coach. One thing that we have that's a huge positive is our coaches prepare for our next opponent. And, maybe not everybody knew that Wofford was good, but Coach Bull did. And he brought them in, and they came to Larry and gave us a hell of a fight.
I appreciate your comments. We'll agree to disagree on some points, but, points well taken. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. All right, yeah, and again, my job is not to argue with him on that.
No,
I like I said, I disagree on some of the things he said.
And again, I'm
not asking for Coach Bowl to get booted. I'm not. No. I just said I'm not on the bandwagon anymore. That I stuck up for
it.
Him.
Almost seemed like you kind of alluded to that you wanted Bowl out of there.
I did say that.
Well, again, you brought up that his
he's 24 and 31.
Well,
that's 5 years. That's 5 years in the making, pal.
Well, what was the anticipation? Again, I was away while Bull was hired on for the Wyoming Cowboys, but I mean, what was the expectation of this team?
His first season, he went 4-8.
I'm just saying, what are the expectations of this guy here at Wyoming?
He wants to win Mountain West Conference championships. That's his expectation.
He hasn't done it yet.
He got to one championship game.
Yeah.
Which we weren't expected to go to that year. That was a bonus year.
That was the year you lost to
San Diego State. We lost to San Diego State in the Mountain West Conference Championship.
But then you lost to BYU
in the Poinsettia Bowl.
Yeah.
And then last year, we got bowl eligible, and we got to the famous Potato Bowl.
Again, that's why I just asked you, just get an understanding of what was his goals, or what was the reason of bringing him here?
Conference Championship.
All right, so in 5 years you've gotten none. But I'm just saying, in this 5 years, were we expecting at least one? Is it something that we got to stick with this plan for 10 years to maybe get one? I mean, what was the time frame? I mean, again, 5 years, and again, if you want a Mountain West championships, you got to one, but you still didn't win it. It's not good.
Okay, so
again,
let me ask you this question. You made a very good point last hour about Tyler Vanderwall. I'm high on him.
I think he's great. I think he is something that's going to be special.
He's a redshirt freshman. Do we wait until his junior year? Do we wait till senior year before he explodes onto the scene?
I think he's ready this year. I really do. I think he has the tools and the talent. I really do. I think Tyler
Ryan said, though, our team is hurt and beat up.
What team isn't?
Yeah, that's also, after 4 weeks we have some key injuries at positions, like tight end.
But I think with our injuries, though, that team is trying to do the best that it can, especially on the running back. Again, you are seriously missing Nico Evans, and again Bigelow as well too. But again, Valladay,
I thought he did a great job.
I think he, as a third stringer, I think he's very good. He has a potential. Again, it isn't a running back by committee of what we saw last year. I think we have what is established with Nico Evans, but we can be assured that if someone is injured, again, if two pieces are gone, that you do have a third that can be a good potential.
Well, and I also like Conway, I like Price, I like Ismail. Got to get the balls to these guys.
Yeah,
they can fly. I know, again, on the tight end position, Mayfield, I know he got a little banged up. But, again, this is why we have the bye week this week, so we can get some of these. And, again, I'm not going to call them nicks and bruises. Some painful injuries. Austin Fort, we saw, was still limping around. Josh Harshman wasn't cleared to play. Nico Evans wasn't cleared to play. All right, and going back to what our caller said, I'll give you that. I'm going to give you what you said. If those players happen to venture back for the next game against Boise State, I would hope then, and we continue on with our same offensive package, then we're going to score a boatload of points against Boise, and we're going to move up and down the field with no problems.
I don't see that against Boise State.
No, that's if I'm interpreting what was being said, that we're not bouncing around as well because of all of these injuries. Well, if we get some of these pieces back against Boise, we should be able to make our mark.
I mean, you had a good amount of those pieces there for that Washington State game, and
again, Nick, I'm going to say this: I am not going to say a negative word against the defense.
Oh, no, you can't. There's
the
no
defense
way.
has been.
I wouldn't.
I think the defense has been a game saver.
Again, I won't say a negative word against an entire player on that team. It's the coaching staff that has the issues. Again, I don't fault Tyler Vanderwall. I think he can do something special here. I think he could do something special this season. He's being held back by what's being called. I really do. I think, again, we've seen stints of when he has a wide receiver downfield, and again, receivers do have to pick up that 50% of that job as well too, of catching those balls for Tyler Vanderwall. But he does have that stint of looking like a Josh Allen, where he could toss it 50, 60 yards. He can really air it out. He can he's not an advanced ad-libber, but he's learning on the go. He is getting there. He's showing signs that he could be like a Josh Allen for Wyoming. Again, I just think I'm not going to say bad thing about any student athlete on the Wyoming Cowboys team. I just can't, because I think we have the talent, we have the tools.
Okay, but
they're being held back.
And also too, on the offensive side, Josh Allen now is a Buffalo Bill. It's Tyler Vanderwall's offense.
I get that.
We want him to be Tyler Vanderwall, and
let him be the quarterback.
Let him be him.
Yeah,
that's right.
And
let him direct the offense.
This offense, and again, this coordination is not allowing him to be it.
I agree.
I really do. I really think so. Again, when Vanderwall has those opportunities, he looks like he could be something fantastic.
And for 5 years now, 5 years, fifth season, we have run this same offensive system. 4-8. Under year one, coming, taking over after Dave Christensen and installing this new offense. There was no great shakes back then.
Yeah.
2-10. Definitely no great shakes. Enter Josh Allen, his his sophomore year after coming back from an injury, and we saw what Josh, again, look at the passes that he made. Going out of bounds against San Diego State, throwing it across field, hitting Hollister.
It was almost like he was ad-libbing the offense itself, or ad-libbing the offensive plays. Let me change it up a bit, because I know this is
Brian Hill too, who was also great on his feet as well. All right, you had only the main veteran on there was Chase Rouillet, who was your major senior.
Yeah,
and again, you go to the next season where Allen's a junior. And he's running for his life again, trying to make things happen without any of those weapons.
Yeah.
And still making some plays and still leading us to, enough wins to go to a bowl game, 6 wins. Okay? It's the same offensive setup that has been from the 4-8 year to last year's 7-5 mark. That's 4 years where we actually regressed from year 3, 8-6, to 7-5.
And so there's no doubt about it. You'll regress this season if it continues on.
4-8, 2-10, 8-6. That's a bowl game that we lost.
Yeah.
7-5, a bowl game which we won. To this year's 2-2, where our caller said, "Hey, we won," and that's a good thing.
You got lucky in that win. I really.
It don't matter. The bottom line is,
I get it. Hey, it's a win is a win, but again, they were very fortunate.
There was
very
no
lucky.
line. Just so you understand, there was no line on the game. Why was there no line on the game? No line means that you can't call this.
It's a toss-up.
Vegas doesn't want to put any points on this thing. No, it's not a toss-up. Vegas didn't want to put any points on this because this is one where you should win going away. That's when you get a no-liner. So anyway.
I guess that makes sense because, you saw no lines for Utah State versus whatever Tennessee team that they took on and just ran wild.
Because they're expected
to
win by 45 points, and they're not going to get much action on it.
No, they won by 60. But.
So, the Cowboys limp into on the offensive side, they limp into the bye week against Boise State. Fine.
Hell, even the defense probably limping in. This is a much-needed rest for the defense.
And I'm glad and again.
And they deserve it.
They have played well and above. And again.
They put their butts on the line.
They have spent more time. Again, something is seriously wrong when your defense spends more time on the field than your offense. And if you're doing that,
Yeah,
that means your offense is a quick strike offense, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. I haven't seen those yet. Maybe you have. I'm missing something.
No.
All right, we got to
I
take a
guess the
timeout.
defense is taking your, at least preseason, of how the defense is going to win this team games. It's trying to.
They're trying to carry.
But you need to put a little bit more
back.
Again, they're trying to all they can, but again, that offense isn't really helping out diddly.
And like I said, I came on today. I stand by what I say. I'm not.
I don't think
I'm not backing off from what I say. I'm off a bandwagon. I'm not saying can the guy. I'm just telling you numbers don't lie.
It's just funny of where you had high expectations for this team. Again, for me in the preseason, I lowered it down and I anticipated where this team was going to be. Again, as I've been saying, you can go to the tape. Hey, these shows have been archived.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been saying this team's going to be fortunate to make it bowl. They're going to be lucky if they even entertain one of those lower bowls. This is not a team that's competing for the Mountain West Championship. It's not a team that is going to finish second in the Mountain Division behind Boise State. Again, you got to respect Utah State. You got to respect CSU. You got to respect Air Force. Who knows, even New Mexico. Yeah. Who knows, even with the Lobos. But
I feel like I got athlete's mouth because I've had my foot so far in it, and I'm not saying no more. I'm telling you right now.
Saying, you should have lowered your expectations like I've been telling you for quite some time.
I guess I should have listened to Sonny Boy once in my life. All right, we need to take a timeout. We'll come back. We have Vance Joseph. He will be chatting about the Broncos win. We'll talk about the Broncos win. We'll talk about some of the NFL. And, of course, Major League Baseball. It's getting pretty serious as we head into the final weeks of the season. We're back after these words right here in 1480 K-Ray. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16-month CD at an annual percentage yield of 2.33% and a 27-month CD at an APY of 2.74%. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Selfless service is the guiding principle that drives Army National Guard soldiers to be always ready whenever disaster strikes. They are your next-door neighbors and your colleagues in schools, offices, and factories. To be a Guard soldier is to stand ready to serve at all times for family, for community, and for country. To learn more, log on to NationalGuard.com or contact an Army National Guard recruiter in your area. Sponsored by the Wyoming Army National Guard. Aired by the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's Lee from Absolute Flooring. Boy, is it hot. I don't just mean the temperature, but the deals at Absolute Flooring. Summer is the best time for new flooring in your home, and we have a full line of flooring options priced right for your budget. We have a large choice of styles, colors, and textures to suit your every taste. Experienced consultants and professional installers will complete your Absolute Flooring experience. Stop in at 3573 East Lincoln Way and visit AbsoluteFlooringWyo.com. Your home, your floor, your store, absolutely.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. So now's the time to find ways to beat the heat, and Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
Otherwise, for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 85. Partly cloudy for tonight, or low down to 50. Sunshine for your Tuesday, expected daytime high of 81. Partly cloudy Tuesday night with our low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast, mostly sunny. We're looking for a daytime high of 81 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. And for Wednesday night, partly cloudy with our low down to 47.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We had one injury. One guy didn't return. That was Jared Verdier. He's in the protocol for concussion. So we'll see about him tomorrow. Questions?
Yeah, Coach, what were your thoughts at halftime, and what did you say to your team at halftime?
At halftime, it wasn't good. You know, David was, I think he was like 13 for 14 maybe. I mean, it was crazy. The ball was coming out so fast, and he was really hot. They ran the ball on us. Offensively, you know, we were, I think our first 3 or 4 drives were 3 and out, so they played good football in the first half, and we didn't. You know, in the second half, we thought offensively we had to be more aggressive, you know, take more shots down the field, and that made them a little soft in the second half. But, you know, our guys kept fighting, kept playing, and played through adversity and won a football game.
Hey, Vance, on that last drive, how impressed were you by Case's composure, but really the whole group on offense?
Absolutely. It wasn't just Case. It was Jeff Hireman getting out of bounds. It was Emmanuel Sanders bringing the ball into the ref, you know, into the hash. The clock's running. 81, Tim Patrick run out of bounds. I mean, that was a huge play for us. And, you know, we meet every Friday about 2-minute offense and being smart with the ball. And our guys came through, so it was fun to watch.
Vance, equally as important, that defensive stop there. What'd you see from the guys slowing down Marshawn and then forcing it in completion?
Marshawn's a load. I mean, you know, one guy can't tackle him, so it took 3 or 4 guys to get him on the ground, and we finally got him into a third down, and we pressured him, and the ball came out, and we tackled him. So, but you know, he was 3 out of 10 on third downs, but you know, in the first half he only had 5. He was 0 for 5, but you know, we didn't put him in third down enough in the first half.
Hindsight, you got it done.
Yeah.
Were you considering taking the points rather than using your franchise quarterback on that play at all?
No, I told Billy once we got inside of the 10-yard line, it was 4-down territory. You know, taking the points there wouldn't have worked. You know, it would have been a loss for us today. So obviously, Case is a tough guy, and he wants to win, and that was the best play to call.
Yeah, Coach. 18 seconds left. You complete the pass to Patrick. He makes an inside move there. Did your heart stop for a minute there?
No, we had time. He was told he had time to get vertical, right? Because the next play was going to be a spike anyway, you know. So he obviously got more yards, you know, for us, and then got out of bounds. So for him, that was a big time play, and you know, he knew what he was doing. You know, so going back inside with 18 seconds, he's okay there. You know, we could still spike it with probably 3 seconds and kick the field goal. So he was right on. And again, our guys in that drive played with really, you know, good smarts. So I was very impressed with those three players.
Vance, in the first half, Emmanuel Sanders didn't have any targets thrown his way, only touched the ball on that hook and ladder. Is that something they did, or is that something you'd like to change moving forward to get him involved earlier?
They were playing a bunch of shell coverage, cover 2 and cover 4, you know, and you know, so our thought was to run the football, but we couldn't do it. You know, I mean, they were playing really stout up front. And again, I mean, that defense played good football for them today. In the second half, we got some runs, you know, so it forced them to play more single high. And when they played shell and played cover 2, we went more vertical down the field. So our plan kind of changed, you know. We became more aggressive versus the zones.
Vance, you mentioned lackluster start on both offense and defense. Yeah. Any explanation as to why?
No, you know, I think, you know, offensively, they had a great plan, you know, in the first half as far as running the football. And the tight end Cook had 4 for 49, so we lost him a couple times. But they were moving us up front, you know. And we held them to 2 field goals, you know, thank God, in the first half. And that was huge for our defense. And that kind of saved us because they were moving the ball. And he was really hot. He was 18 for 19. That was the number at halftime. And that's amazing, you know, for a quarterback to hit the passes on a man-to-man team. But he was hot, and they were playing good. They were blocking us. So holding those guys to 2 field goals was a good job by our defense.
Coach, you took your first lead with 6 seconds left. What does it say about your football team to win without having the formula all game?
I think 2 weeks in a row our guys played through adversity, you know, and we talked about that last night. It wasn't going to be easy, you know. We came in as a favorite, but it's a divisional game, you know. It's never going to be easy. Those guys had a hard loss on Monday night, so we knew they were going to bring their best shot, you know, and they played good football over there. That team came and played inspired football. So again, kudos to them.
Vance, another big day for Philip Lindsay.
Yeah.
How, you know, what can you say about how impressive he's been these first 2 weeks?
14 for 107. He had a big run for us and finally broke a play for us. But he is a good football player, you know, not only as a running back, but as a guy who covers kick for us and a guy who catches the ball for us. I mean, he is a total package as a football player, and he's been impressive. He's been really impressive.
Vance, you started 2-0 last year as well.
Yeah.
What are you personally going to do differently to make sure what happened last year doesn't happen this year?
Last year is last year. You know, last year we were really 3-1. You know, and last year that's over. You know, I don't remember last year, but this year our team's different. You know, the culture's different. I mean, to watch our team play these last 2 weeks, I'm not worried at all. You know, my only focus is really Monday. Monday, and then obviously Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Baltimore on Sunday. So last year is over. We're a different team. We're a different team through and through.
Guys, Philip Lindsay, Tim Patrick, Royce Freeman, a lot of young guys
Yeah.
that showed maturity.
Yeah.
What about this group allowed them to play with poise, do you think?
Well, I mean, yeah, those guys are qualified. You know, we've got a lot of young guys playing, but they've shown us in the last 2 weeks that's not too big for them. You know, they're just doing their jobs, and they're good players, and they're good athletes, and they're tough guys. And you know, our young receivers are still learning how to play the game. You know, we had a couple 9 balls that were too close to the sideline. That's just inexperience, you know. So we'll fix those things. But again, those young kids who are playing for us, they're all qualified.
Vance, we're all trying to figure out what a catch is. Cortland's play.
Yeah.
What did you think? What was the explanation?
I don't know. I thought Cortland's touchdown was a touchdown. Obviously, I challenged it. The second catch, I guess he didn't finish the catch, but you know, we'll figure it out. You know, it's a tough game to officiate. So many rules right now, and it's hopefully it's fair on both sides.
Last one to your right, Austin, Coach.
Coach, take me back to that last play real quick. I know that you have all kinds of confidence in Brandon McManus, but once he stepped out onto that field, what was going through your mind knowing that this could be the game-winning field goal right here?
Make it. I mean, his make it line was 44, so it was obviously closer than that. So B-Max had a great training camp and a great preseason and a great, you know, first 2 weeks. So I was confident he was going to make the kick for us. I was. Thank you very much. Thank you. Enjoy your day, guys. All right.
Presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, this halftime score is not indicative of our talent level. We're a lot closer than I thought we'd be, and old Coach has just the thing to get us over the hump. Street tacos from Taco John's. You can get them with chicken, or new sirloin steak, or pork carnitas. That's a triple option of awesomeness. Let's go get some.
Get 3 street tacos for just $5 at Taco John's.
Hustle up, boys. If we leave now, we can be back for the fourth quarter.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, but not necessarily in that order. You decide where you're going and how you'll get there. An unwritten experience awaits. Be bold, be prepared, be inspired. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Visit lccc.wi.edu to start your story today.
Did you know High West Energy has been serving residents of Laramie County for 75 years? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op proudly serving 10,000 customers in 3 states, including 20 subdivisions surrounding Cheyenne and F.E. Warren Air Force Base. We're owned by our customers who share in the profits and have a voice in ensuring that we maintain high standards while keeping electricity costs low. Keeping energy affordable for 75 years. HighWestEnergy.com.
A Touchstone Energy partner.
This is R.J. Fox. 1480 K-Ray is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Join me as you'll hear all the play-by-play of Cheyenne East, Cheyenne Central, and Cheyenne South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason as well. During the basketball season, 1480 K-Ray will be featuring both boys and girls games. So catch all the calls on AM 1480 K-Ray. Also streaming the games online at 1480kray.com.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. A couple of thoughts on the Broncos win yesterday. First off, you tip your cap to Derek Carr. 91% completion rate, 29 of 32, 288 yards. Amari Cooper was his big target yesterday, 10 receptions.
I don't think Derek Carr is the issue. Or again, this is nothing new for
the
him.
The run game has a lot to be desired, even with beast mode back there.
Beast mode, we know, is kind of in his older years.
Yeah, but you got 92 yards total rushing. This is the same things we used to gripe about with the Broncos last year.
Yeah,
and again too, the Philip Lindsay youngster, he has been a great surprise. Case Keenum,
He's nothing.
Workable numbers. He's a game manager out there.
I guess if that's what you want, but other than that,
19 to 35, 222 yards.
Again, same as with the Wyoming Cowboys, with the Denver Broncos. You got lucky to win that game. You got very fortunate that you won that contest.
And
again,
like
the Broncos,
our caller said, a win's a win, right?
I guess so. But for the Broncos, you were very fortunate that you pulled away that victory. And again, that last second touchdown was the first time you led in that contest that entire game. So again, Broncos, you were fortunate at home to beat the Oakland Raiders. And guess what? Coming up next week against the Baltimore Ravens at Baltimore.
That's going to be a little tougher.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm glad to see that Emmanuel Sanders now is being more involved in the offense. They're throwing to him more. I do like Jake Butt. I really do. The kid, when he was drafted by the Broncos, had that knee injury from the bowl game the year before. He's got some great hands. He really does. The one who has hands of stone or who can't catch a cold is Demaryius Thomas.
Which is surprising.
He dropped 4 yesterday.
And that's surprising, especially for him. Again, DT usually that constant piece for the Broncos, no matter who's behind center for the Denver Broncos.
The last couple of years, he's kind of he's not all there. I mean, his game is not all there. I guess that would be the choice words to use. But John Gruden, you got problems, pal. It's different from being from being in the booth.
No. I'd say pump the brakes right there because again, you lost at home to a very good, probably the best team in the NFL, the Los Angeles Rams. No disrespect to the Rams there. Again, that is a game the Raiders should have lost, and they did. And this one on the road against a very heated rival against the Broncos. Again, it's always a tough place to go play and win at Mile High. Again, this is a team that, at least the Broncos in franchise history, has one of the best winning percentages in Denver. I don't fault them. And again, they had that victory, and they let it slide out of their hands there in the fourth quarter. They were leading that contest all the way up until 6 seconds left? They had it. They had that victory and just let it slide out of their hands. Again, I don't think that I don't go. I don't.
You're
say,
not,
I don't. I don't.
Not panic mode. Then. Okay.
Absolutely not. Again, I don't think any Raider fan should be. Yes, you probably should have won that. That is a victory you let loose there for the Oakland Raiders. But it's nothing where 0-2. I go, hey, it's panic time. It's DEFCON 5 in Oakland. No, I really don't think so. I think the Raiders are fine. These are two very tough games you knew about here early in the season. I don't think it's an indication of what this team can be. I don't think it's winning the AFC West. I really don't think so. Again, that kind of goes into our picks and what my full belief is.
Right.
I still think the Chargers can, even though I want to take that back and maybe pick Kansas City. But this Oakland team still has a good core, still has things to figure out that maybe they will next week and maybe become a wild card team. But again, if you're a Raiders fan, these first 2 losses, it's nothing that should be indication of what the season's going to be like. I really don't think so. I think this is still a good team, but you lost to 2 good teams, one at home, again, one of the best teams probably in the NFL, and on the road where not a whole lot of NFL teams win in Denver. Just saying.
Okay. Let's see.
Right,
I'm just not.
I think
Raiders got more problems.
Weren't you on the Broncos bandwagon last year, going 3-0?
I'm not on the bandwagon. These are 2 games that they should have won, and they did. We'll see how good they are at Baltimore next week. Yeah. We'll also find out too. As we've also popped off about the 49ers, and they had a wild one with Detroit yesterday. We'll see how good they are at Kansas City next week.
Yeah,
we'll see how really good they are.
That's going to be really tough.
And we'll see how good the Raiders are at Miami.
I think they can win that game. I really do. I think the Raiders have enough to get that one done. Going back to the 49ers, Kansas City, yeah, that is a good matchup there. But Kansas City, especially behind Patrick Mahomes, is showing that this is a formidable team. This is a team that could do something special this season, as I said in the preseason, as much as people wanted to doubt me. But I don't anticipate the 49ers to win that game. It might be the same situation of what you saw with Minnesota, where they might come up maybe a touchdown or so.
Make a young mistake, yeah?
Possibly, which we saw them make young mistakes there in the fourth quarter at home against the Detroit Lions. The Lions got very close in that, at least winning that contest, coming from behind because of pretty much a fourth quarter collapse by the 49ers. But, hey, a win's a win. You're 1-1 on the season. Hey, it's better than what it's been for the past couple of seasons where they started out like 0-5, 0-whatever. But it'll be intriguing. Is Kansas City for real? Can the 49ers at least carry some momentum into Kansas City, get a victory? I don't know. Can they compete with the Chiefs? We'll see.
Another game of note next week, since he threw his first ever touchdown pass in the National Football League, that being Josh Allen. They'll be at Minnesota. Talk about
good luck.
Talk about running for his life.
Good luck.
That would be the game he'll be running for his life next week. Also, the game that will be won. Is it a preview?
Preview of what?
I don't know, like maybe a Super Bowl.
Who is it?
It's going to be in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum next week. Los Angeles versus Los Angeles.
Chargers, Rams. Chargers does not look like a team that can make it to the Super Bowl. Rams, absolutely. I wouldn't say guarantee, but I'll say that the Rams absolutely can't make it to the Super Bowl. Chargers, I'm kind of backpedaling on that team of maybe Phillip Rivers is a little too old to get things done. He's had his time, and Father Time has kind of passed him by. Can the Chargers compete against the Rams? Something tells me no. I really don't think so. This Rams team is very, very talented, very good.
The Thursday night game this week, for anybody that might care, all 2 or 3 football fans out there, New York Jets at Cleveland.
Can Cleveland finally win?
Probably not.
Can the Jets pick up another victory under Sam Darnold? Do I have enough to invest my time on Thursday night for that game? No.
Now next Monday night, I might be an interested viewer in Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. That one intrigues me.
Something tells me Tampa Bay will continue their streak right now, and Pittsburgh's in a world of trouble.
Right.
Again, a tie against Cleveland. Granted, you were in Cleveland at home yesterday. You still lost. I don't know what to make of the Pittsburgh team. I really don't. I think they have talent. They're just not playing to it. I don't know what the issue is there with the Steelers. That one, yeah, it's intriguing. It's more so to see if Tampa Bay can continue the streak that it has right now under Fitzpatrick.
Well, now you came down and told me about this yesterday, and I was like, what the hell? Both Buffalo Bills coach Sean McDermott and defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier said today that they have yet to speak to cornerback Vontae Davis since his sudden retirement during yesterday's loss to the Chargers, but they wish Davis well.
Well, obviously.
Davis, at age 30, started and played the first half of the game before retiring at halftime with the Bills trailing 28-6.
He quit and then retired, from my understanding.
He was not seen on the field during the second half, was not spotted in the locker room after the game, which was won by the Chargers. Hours later, he released a statement that reality had hit him about his physical capability to continue playing the game.
Yeah, he blamed his, recent surgeries, just didn't realize, or at least breaking it down was, is my health worth this at this point?
He said, it's more important for me and my family to walk away healthy than to willfully embrace the warrior mentality and limp away too late.
Hey, and
Davis tweeted, only God can judge me.
And I get that, playing for that Bills team. I mean, that team is going to get thrashed throughout the season. I would absolutely, we're talking about Vontae Davis, but also, too, with Josh Allen. You got to worry about that guy every week going into a game, every play of is he going to catch one on the blind side? Is he going to hit that ground pretty hard? Who knows? But Vontae Davis, probably not the greatest way to call it, at least a career, probably the biggest FU to at least his teammates. And again, his teammates kind of reiterated that of going, that wasn't cool. Why'd you do that? You could have done it any other time, but you gave up and changed into street clothes at halftime and gave up on us. And would not surprise, it would not be surprised if Vontae Davis comes out of retirement, quote unquote, to maybe return, but doesn't want to be a part of the Bills. Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me. And if it was this season, maybe Teller's the tail end of going, I kind of missed the game. I don't want to be a part of your team, Buffalo, but I'll certainly join. Who else is looking for a quarterback? I'll join you instead.
Here's something that did not surprise me. Matter of fact, I said this yesterday while I was watching the Red Zone. And I said, he'll probably be out of work today. The Cleveland Browns signed rookie kicker Greg Joseph today to replace Zane Gonzalez, who missed 4 attempts. That cost the team 8 points in their 3-point loss to the Saints.
Do I blame the Browns for doing that? No.
The Browns waived Gonzalez in a corresponding move. The team announced today Joseph, who is from South Africa and played at Florida Atlantic, was in the training camp with the Dolphins this year, made all 3 of his attempts during the preseason. He was one of several kickers to try out for the Browns today. A 7th-round pick in 2017, Gonzalez made 15 to 20 field goals last season but missed 2 attempts as well as 2 extra points in the 21-18 loss to the Saints. Gonzalez has been kicking with a groin injury that required an MRI today, a source is telling ESPN's Adam Schefter. So you just knew that
you kind of feel for the guy, especially playing under those conditions. Again, a kicker and you're dealing with groin issues. That can be at least troublesome, but again, don't blame the Browns. Hey, if you get those points on the board, guess what? You're 2-0. You would have beaten Pittsburgh. You would have beaten New Orleans, 2 very top-tier teams, in my opinion, and you would have been 2-0 on the season besides your kicker. But again, playing with a groin injury, you're a kicker, I don't fault the guy for missing them. Again, that's probably very painful.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We got to come back. We got to get into baseball after these words right here on 1480 K-Ray. Due to our stormy season this summer, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service is offering you a hail of a deal on a wide variety of travel trailers, including toy haulers. Get up to an additional 50% off MSRP on Jolly Rogers' already low prices. Check out their new and used inventory. Damaged or not, you can still travel in style. Call Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service today, your exclusive Jayco dealer, at 634-8457. See them at 6102 U.S. Highway 30 or go to jollyrogersrv.com.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That is why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by and talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
Community banking for you.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
Otherwise, for today, mostly sunny, expected daytime high of 85. Partly cloudy for tonight, our low down to 50. Sunshine for your Tuesday, expected daytime high of 81. Partly cloudy Tuesday night with our low down to 51. Wednesday's forecast, mostly sunny. We're looking for a daytime high of 81 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. And for Wednesday night, partly cloudy with our low down to 47.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
You know, it might have been a warm day today and over the weekend and over the last week, but I noticed this yesterday when I was out mowing the front and backyard.
It's not that hot.
To me, it's nice and warm. I like it. But I noticed my aspens are starting to shed, and that also tells me that we're coming to the end of the Major League Baseball season.
Which is sad.
It is, because it really, aside from the Giants being a disappointment this year, the pennant races
I do not
still are fun.
I don't say the Giants were disappointing. Did I have my hopes that they would return back to the playoffs?
I think we both had them going to the playoffs, didn't we?
I think you had them winning I'd have to look back, but I had them as a wild card. I do believe so. But, again, Giants at least improved from where they were last year. That is a small step in the right direction. Again, they were flirting with 100 losses. Again, this year they're going to float around below 500. They still have an opportunity to catch.
They'll be like 76, 86, something like that.
But again, it's a small improvement. We know this team needs to have a massive change and a facelift, and it's going to get it in the offseason.
And they did some tryouts this weekend, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Let's go over to the AL where, and again, I would say yes, I knew Boston was going to be good, but they had first-year manager Davey Martinez. I didn't think the Boston Red Sox were going to be 103 wins good this year.
I don't think anyone did, especially where in the offseason what team made the most moves, and the big moves was their rival, New York Yankees.
And the Red Sox got, they got J.D. Martinez. That was their big pickup. Hey, you know what?
You're talking about the National League MVP joining your team of the New York Yankees with Giancarlo Stanton. Hey, a guy who was touted, and again, one of the biggest offseason signings where a lot of teams had eyes on him. Again, I would have been less shocked if the Yankees were in that position. But
he's paid off then for him because they're 91-58 under first-year coach Aaron Boone.
Absolutely, but
that's a division winner anywhere.
But I'm just saying, in a division where your rival down the road picked up a lot of big key pieces in the offseason, and you got a quite lengthy lead. You've already wrapped up that AL East division. They've already clinched it and won. That's the only surprising thing of what Boston has done. Now, will it translate? Will it be something that helps them out in the playoffs? We've seen teams like that are that upper echelon that cruise through a season and then collapse into divisional and a championship round, i.e. a Washington Nationals of a few years ago. Los Angeles Dodgers have done it a few times. Is it going to be a situation that they can get it done, like the Houston Astros, who pretty much cruised last year? But who knows? I think the Boston Red Sox are a team that can make it to the World Series, can absolutely win it, in my opinion. But in that AL, if playoffs were to start today, Yankees, Houston, A's, I guess Cleveland, but there are some quality teams that can absolutely upend the Boston Red Sox in any 5-game or 7-game series.
Well, 2 teams for sure with the pitching. And actually, you can almost drop in a third team with pitching, but Boston also has pitching as well, too. But here's the interesting factoid of this conversation here. The Tampa Bay Rays, who are 20 games out of the AL East, actually are only 7 games behind the A's.
They might as well be 20 games out.
The A's have 12 games to play. Tampa Bay has 14.
Yeah,
technically, the Rays and the M's are not out of that second wild card.
Yeah, they're
spot.
not officially, but they're going to be. Again, good luck of taking 7 in a row with Oakland or whoever collapsing.
And the A's are only a game and a half behind the Yankees for that number 1.
Again, I think
card.
For the A's, you're focusing still on the Astros to try and up in them. Again, A's are guaranteed at this point in time. I think it's an absolute 99% chance that they will make it to the wild card.
Right.
But again, I think the A's, of how close that AL West still is, I don't think they really care of chasing the Yankees. It's more so, let's win that West. Let's just get out of that wild card situation and just win the division. And they have that opportunity. Now, Houston doesn't want to slow down. They're a team that is, again, deserves respect. They are still a solid team. Again, defending World Series champions. They know how to get back. They know how to win the West. They know how to do it. And they're not slowing down at any point soon. And their schedule isn't all that too difficult for them for the rest of the way.
Right. We'll move over to the National League where technically, and again, I was telling Nick this, and he was kind of like, well, it's theirs. But a big series going on between the Cardinals and the Braves. And the Braves have not clinched it yet. They're 6.5 ahead. Yes. Philly dropped four games off the pace.
Guess what?
In the last 10 games.
Yeah, they're pretty much you wrap up where Braves have won that series. At least they've won that division. It's not official, but it's going to be. Again, Philadelphia has just collapsed.
The Braves can do a solid to either the West or the Cardinals can help themselves. And losing 3 out of 4 to the Dodgers this week was not the brightest thing for the Cardinals to do.
No.
So the Braves will be probably the lone representative out of the East. Cubs and the Brewers, it's not over till it's over. Cubs and the Diamondbacks.
You're gonna have 2 teams out of the Central, though, at least guaranteed. I think those 2. Again, it's kind of like Oakland and Houston. You know those teams are making the playoffs. It's just who's winning the division.
Are you thinking that it's going to be 2 out of the West now?
No, I really don't.
Do you think 3 teams are going to make it out of that Central?
I've been saying it for quite some time, and I'm still going to go.
So it's going to be winner take all out
again,
of the West.
You got the Dodgers who still have to go through the West. Again, they still need to meet the Giants. Giants just showed, hey, Rockies, you're coming into town. Have fun. Guess what? We took 2 out of 3 of you, and at least now basically brought you down back to reality of going, well, now you still need to fight for that NL West championship. Again, Dodgers still need to face this Giants team where, again, you don't throw it away. You don't throw away that series because, again, it's always competitive. They're always going to fight. That rivalry is always going to be there. You're going to put it on the line. Dodgers still need to do that. Again, Rockies, you don't know what you're going to get with the Rockies.
This is interesting with the odds makers. They give the Rockies a 59% chance of making it to the playoffs. They give the Dodgers 85%.
I think that's fair.
Dodgers are a half game out. Now the Rockies open up a series with the Dodgers beginning tonight at Chavez Ravine.
On the road, yeah. Good luck.
Well, Rockies are 41-34 on the road, and the Dodgers are 39-36 at home.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be in favor of the
Again,
Rockies.
right now, who's the hottest team? It's the Dodgers. In that series going forward.
They're 6-4. Rockies.
Okay, they just came off
5-5.
a great series again, a winning series in St. Louis.
They scored 17 runs Saturday night. They got shut out last night.
All right, you can't win them all. You
I
can't win 162
I understand that,
games.
but I'm just saying tonight.
What is the again?
It's gonna
You go off of Rockies. You've lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants, a team that is clearly out of it.
Ugh.
No, here's a great series between St. Louis and Dodgers on the road in St. Louis. The Dodgers took 3 out of 4. Guess what? I think the momentum and the at least advantage, especially at home, goes to LA.
I'll give you that. All right. The Diamondbacks, they have pretty much they're 4.5 out. Technically not out of it.
They're done.
But they've won 3 out of their last 10.
They had their shot. They had their shot when they took on the Rockies and gave up on that. No, the Diamondbacks.
They get the Rockies here this weekend too, or later this week.
Yeah, we'll see if they roll over and die for that series too.
So and again, we are down to the bare numbers. So the Rockies technically 82-67. So they've got 13 games left. The Dodgers are 82-68. They got 12 games left, and they wrap up the season at San Francisco. The Rockies will wrap up at home. They got Philly, and then they got the Nationals. So 2 teams, and again, we go back to what we said last week. 2 teams, even though the Nats are above 500 and the Phils are above 500, should be out of it.
Yeah.
By next weekend. And you would hope that you're not going to see Scherzer, they might shut down some of their players.
Maybe.
You might see it. I don't know. Again, everybody hates the Dodgers. I mean, we had that discussion, you, me, and Chris, over the weekend. It's almost like, hey, whatever we can do to thwart the Dodgers will help you. And I'm not talking throwing a game. I'm just saying, we'll rest some of our regulars. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
And the Giants are going to come out. They're going to be kicking with their big boys.
They're not kicking with their big boys right now.
Pitching wise.
Yeah, I would assume that you would see Rodriguez.
You'll see Rodriguez and Mad Bum for sure. Maybe Stratton. Those 3 guys that were tough on the rocks. That's for sure.
Who knows?
So anyway, that's the way Major League Baseball is happening right now. So the Dodgers and the Rockies tonight at Chavez Ravine. That'll be 8 o'clock. Gosh, I hate these West Coast games. They last forever.
And then live on the West Coast where to be an hour behind.
I know.
Again, living out in Las Vegas, being able to watch the Giants, it got over at 9 p.m.
So if somebody can write me a check for these 2 stations, I'm off to the left coast.
I thought you wanted to go farther south.
I can go south too. That'd be also on the time. I got to make sure I get on the right time zone. I got to get on the packed time zone. All right.
Well, in Arizona, they do their own time zone.
They do their
they do their own thing.
They care what the rest of the country does. Let's see. Tomorrow we have more Wyoming Sports Talk today. I know you are rounding up some guests.
I'm not going to announce anything.
No. We'll remind everybody. Friday we're in Laramie, so we're heading over to Gem City. Again, another great job that Nick did on Friday with our. Periscope via Twitter and our YouTube channel, so we do appreciate all that was. I've had a lot.
I appreciate everyone who joined in.
No, I have a lot of people that again you don't know because I meet on Monday and I also talk to folks just in general that have watched it.
Yeah,
and they do appreciate it. So again, you may not get.
Recognition.
Well, they're not going to sit there and type a note, blah, 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 blah. They'll come up to me after and say, hey, thanks, appreciate it, looked real good, that type of deal. So anyway, I do appreciate all that we've done on our end, and I know we're going to do even better Again, in Laramie, we got Cheyenne Central after having East for 3 consecutive weeks. And
Not our fault.
And we finally had South, so we were glad to have Dan Gallis' squad. Now we will have Mike Apodaca's team. We had them back in week 0, so they're going to take on a very good Plainsman team at Plainsman Field. So that's going to be
again a team that has been competitive. Yeah. You look at what they did against Natrona, again, the #1 team that has cruised over every single opponent.
I'm not sure if they call that over there D-Ty Stadium. I can't remember at the new high school, but
I don't know.
We'll know when we get over there. All right. So anyway, want to remind you coming up tonight, Red Skelton ×2 from 8 until 9. Our Suspense Theater from 9 until 10. It is our golden age of radio theater. We are so glad that we get to bring that to you each Monday through Thursday.